these kids trolling me. So I went to a school called Koenji School, which takes kids from 5 to 18. And it was totally fascinating. So when I arrived there, I went with my translator. You arrive and all the kids walk to school on their own. From the age of 5, all Japanese children just leave the house and walk to school on their own. So they get a lot of exercise in the morning and they walk home on their own as well. And we were greeted at the entrance by a woman called Harumi Tatibe, who's the nutritionist at the school. By law, every Japanese school has to employ a professional nutritionist. It's a difficult qualification to get. It's 3 years of study on top of learning to be a teacher. And your job is to design and oversee the creation of the food in the school. All processed food is banned. No one is allowed to have, there's no processed food in any Japanese schools ever. Every meal has to be prepared from scratch at the start of the day. And no one is allowed to bring in a packed lunch. So every kid has to eat the food that's prepared in the school. Her job is also to use those meals to educate the children about how to eat healthily. So they teach them all sorts of key principles. One of them is in Japan, this is a very deep cultural norm. You should only eat until you're 80% full. So it takes a while for your body to realize you're full. So if you get the signal that you're full while you're still eating, they're like, you've eaten too much, right? So you should eat until you're 80% full and then stop. There's all sorts of norms that are very different to ours. So if you look at a typical Japanese meal, it will have 5 portions, significantly more than ours, but they're pretty small, right? So you might have some fish, some miso soup, a whole range of things, which is important for your gut health because there's a bigger variety of ingredients, which makes your gut much healthier. But also you eat it differently. So if you gave us, a meal with 3 bits, generally you'd eat all of one, then all of another, then all of another. You'd have all the lasagna, then you have the carrots or whatever. In Japan, that's regarded as like a crazy way to eat. You have a mouthful of the miso soup, then you have a mouthful of the white fish, then you have a mouthful of the sashimi, and it slows your eating down massively if you eat that way. So there's a school of 1,000 children. I walked through that school all day. There was not one fat child. It's odd, like it's jarring when you go, right? That they have extraordinarily low childhood obesity. And I remember with these kids, I was asking them their favorite foods. The first kid I asked said, my favorite food is broccoli. It's like, all right. The second kid said, my favorite food is seaweed. And the third one was like, I like white rice. And I said to Chie, my translator, are these kids trolling me, right? Like, what, their favorite foods are broccoli and like white rice? And she just looked kind of puzzled. And every Japanese person I asked said, well, we teach our children to like healthy food. Don't your children like healthy food? And I was so taken aback by these kids. I brought up on my phone some pictures of like typical British school dinners and showed it to them. And they literally reacted like I had shown them an ISIS beheading video. They like screamed. They were like, what is this? And one said, did you eat this every day? I was like, yes. They're saying, where's the salad? I said, there is no salad. They were just completely baffled. So they partly start with this very strong culture, creating a very deliberate culture of how to eat differently that begins at a very, very young age.